Hello, people. How's it going? Well, it's another day in the land of Minnesota. Weather has become very fall and cold. I like cold weather. I can wear my wintry fall clothes. Okay, maybe I'm a little vain. I don't know. I don't think I am. Anyway, I do need a haircut though. Gotta shave. Um, yeah, weather's turned nice. I like fall. I've always liked fall. Can't stand hot weather. Well, long stretches of hot weather. I lived in enough places where it's hot that I kind of like seasons, which is why I moved up here from Florida. So I wouldn't have to, I can actually have seasons. I actually like winter. I like fall. I like cold. I work better in the truck in the cold than I do in the heat. I just do. Um, but anyway, it's been a fairly normal week work wise. Other way wise, at the moment, I'm the only person here, which is why I'm doing this video right now. If I don't know when they're going to come back. Anyway, it's Wednesday. Um, Looking at my list of things I may or may not talk about today. I may cut this video in half. I may do half my list and do the other half later today if I feel like it. The writing, um, it's been a slow week writing wise. I've started and stopped several writing projects. I have 20 projects I'm actually working on in in process. I mean, literally, there's a list on my group page. I am working on 20 things, several short stories, several commentaries, some other odds and ends. Still plotting through my next novel. I still got to finish the one I'm writing now. But Heaven Inc., which is what it's called, is the one I'm working on at the moment. I'm on the last chapter. I just have to figure out how to end it. It's sort of a Pilgrim's Progress kind of story, except it takes place in heaven, a future event where basically people are now running heaven and what a mess it would be if they did. And a few other things. It is a satire like Pilgrim's Progress. It is like that. It's supposed to be a satire, but it's also supposed to. I'm not sure satire is the actual right word I'm thinking of. Satire? Allegory? I'm terrible at these words anyway. I shouldn't be, but I am. It is a Pilgrim's Progress like story. I think it's an allegory. Good grief, I should know this. I've read Pilgrim's Progress enough times. But I'm on the last chapter of that novel. It'll probably always stay on the flash drive. I'll probably never attempt to get it published, but I'd like to get it done so I can move on to my actual novel I'd like to get done, or started, which is my American Civil War novel about Minnesota during the Civil War and the Dakota Uprising. That's on the first chapter in my head. I've written the first chapter in my head. I just now have to write the first chapter on the actual computer. It's easy to write things in your head. I mean, I did post a poem that I wrote almost 20 odd years ago. The Reflections of a Wandering Mind series of poetry. That's my non-Christian stuff. Reflections of a Wandering Mind is after I stopped writing Christian poetry and started just writing whatever I wanted to write. The Maze of Ire, which is about Ireland, of course. I wrote that in 2002, I think. 2002? Somewhere around there. It's not great, but I liked writing it, so I rewrote it. It's on the blog site. I posted it on Monday or Sunday. I have ideas in my. I did some writing on a short story I called "Too Young." It's a ghost story, but it's also a human. It's a family story. It's a tragic story, but it is a ghost story. Yeah, as I'm right, as I always, it's from the first flash drive. It's the story I wrote a while back. It's it's on the first flash drive. It's from the ancient scrolls, as me and Natalie call them. I'm thinking. When I think, I stir up in the space. People get over it. It's a ghost story. It's about regret. It's about family. I hesitate to say more because I know me. As I'm writing it, I'll change it. It's the way writing is. I wrote this thing 10 odd years ago. I think it was 10 years ago. Within 10 years, anyway. And I have a feeling by the time I'm done writing it, it'll be twice as long and slightly changed, which is what usually ends up happening. So, but that's fine. What else did I do this week, writing wise? I thought of other ideas for ghost stories. They're all in my head. Most of all this stuff is in my head. All these story ideas I've been thinking about when I'm at work. What else am I going to do at work while I'm shoving a box on top of another box? Except story ideas or commentary ideas or whatever else ideas. And speaking of commentaries, I am thinking about probably doing Genesis 1 to 11 or possibly James. I like James. I've always liked the book of James. It's always been one of my favorite books of the Bible, at least of the New Testament anyway. If you can guess what my favorite book of the Old Testament is, I'll be impressed. It begins with an E. But yes, I'm thinking about maybe doing either James, first 11 chapters of Genesis. I might do Titus instead. I'm thinking about that too. What else have I done this week? Writing wise. Most of the writing has been in my head because I haven't really inclined to write anything on the computer. So when I'm at work, I'm writing story ideas in my head, and I'm coming up with more Noslin stories. I have at least 3 in my head that I need to write at some point, or Natalie's going to hit me, or run me over, or scold me. Probably scold me. Let's see. On to the next subject of things. Oh yeah, I am still transferring a lot of. Well, I have to transferring the plays from the flash drive number 1 of plays onto the blog site. I'm still working on Pie in the Sky play. I'm going to change the title. I don't like the title. For the moment, that's the title, is Pie in the Sky. Because when I wrote originally, it was that. It's supposed to be 10 minutes. It was a subgenre of plays that you'd write one for 10 minutes. 10-minute play. That's what it originally was supposed to be, the length of it. But most of my plays always end up being within about 30 minutes. If you want to do my plays, they're about 30 minutes long. I like that shortness. I have one 2-act play I have to rewrite on the blog site. That's a 2-act play. It's about Nazi Germany, Night of Kristallnacht. But I'll talk about that later. But Pie in the Sky is slowly getting there, kind of, as I'm rewriting it from the flash drive to the blog site. It's becoming longer, which is normal. That's what happens when I rewrite things. It's going to get longer. It's going to be a lot longer than what it is right now, which is fine. I don't mind. Dresden play has come to a standstill because it just is. The other play that I haven't mentioned that I'm working on is still the Muse. The Muse Laughed, which is Aphrodite, Athena, and Athena. Artemis. Sorry, Artemis are discussing the events down in Rome, where a certain Constantine is saying he now is a Christian, which he never was. People, you're never going to convince me he was ever a Christian. But anyway, I have been asked. Now to a new topic. I have been asked to do a podcast. I think it's going to be done next week on friend Mike's Termax podcast. I've been asked to do a segment. I don't know what the subject is going to be right now. He wants something encouraging. He apparently has never met me. But I'll think of something. I'll probably do something on maybe prayer or faith or something. I'll come up with something. But he asked me to do a podcast via the phone. This should be interesting because I have a voice made for writing, not talking. But anyway, that should be interesting. I got to think of a subject. I've been thinking about subjects all week. I think I have some ideas. I've never done a podcast, of course, before, which is really no different than this. You just don't see the person talking. But we'll see. We'll see what I come up with. That's a next week project. So Um, I'm still contemplating the Bible study I'm going to do via my own Facebook page. I'm probably going to do Mark. I'm going to stop in 5 minutes. Probably going to do Mark again. I'm going to rewrite my notes again. I'm going to try to remind people that this will be a live stream so maybe they can come on and ask me questions. That won't be until, well, next week is November, isn't it? Yes, because Halloween is Sunday. I'll probably start that next week too, probably. I'm going to try anyway. Part of me wants to do John Mark, because I'm also doing a commentary on the Bible of John Mark. So I might be able to do both. So my commentary on John Mark is going very slow because I just haven't got to it yet. Well, I got to the first paragraph. I always just say I'm doing research, which is true. I am doing research. I'm always doing research. Which is probably why I have more subject topics and more projects on my list that I'm doing than I should. Nobody should be doing 20 things at one time when you're a writer. That's just nuts. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I am. But the Bible study will probably be starting next week. I'll let people know via Facebook and probably, I post this on Facebook and I post this on Instagram for a reason. I'm looking at my list here. I have 4 things left to talk about, and I don't want to go beyond 15 minutes. Teaching, I know that's on there. I'm finding that I like teaching, as I've said that a bazillion times before. I think that my top 3 subjects I could teach is history, theology, and writing, or creative writing. I'm hoping to have, well, that's just all I wanted to say on that. I have more later, but I still have to get to the Ideal Church, part 4, which I might do this week. I probably will, because I told Mike I would, and he's probably wondering where part 4 is. And heads up, basically, the Ideal Church to me is one where politics is forbidden, ever, to enter the doors, ever. You bring up politics, you will not be asked to leave, you'll be told you're leaving. I have no tolerance for politics, people. None. No tolerance for politics. Or liver. I hate liver. I said that because my mother knows how much I hate liver. I love my mother, but my mother made us have liver when I was a kid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. But I hate liver. I always will. It's about as much as I hate politics. I hate liver. I hate pork. If it's possible to hate, I meat. Not meat. Whatever the hell liver is. I hate liver. That's probably more information than you people wanted to know. But anyway, I will get back to the Ideal Church. I haven't forgotten about the Ideal Church thing. I'll do part 4 probably this week. Probably because I classify that under the heading of teaching under the heading of theology. I did go to Redeeming Baptist Church last Sunday. It went fine. I've been there before. I didn't last long last time I was there. It's just because I don't know why. I just stopped going. But I came back. It went okay. I don't expect anything to happen. I might go to their Bible study tomorrow night. I think they're doing John. I'll have to check. I think it's John. I think it's John 6 or 7. I think. But anyway. That's about it. Almost up to 15 minutes. So that's everything on the list. That's pretty good. Pretty good timing. Oh, books bought. I didn't do that one. I knew there was something I was missing. I haven't done the books yet, as you can tell. They're still sitting there, all the books I bought in the last month and a half, or ordered. But, that's not going to work. I wish my screen was a little bit bigger, but it's not. So what are you going to do? Anyway, you can see the Israeli flag. That's all that matters. Let's see. I was gonna mention something. I didn't write it down, so naturally I forgot. YouTube. I was gonna talk about my YouTube channels I like, but I'm not going to because we're at 15 minutes. I'm gonna stop. I'll put it on there at some point anyway. There are some, you know what I mostly do on Sundays, people, is I watch YouTube channels. I watch history channels, science channels, Jillian and Addie, because they are fun to watch for two kids. They make fun videos. I don't have to think. I don't have to think. I can just enjoy their goofiness. I love the history channels. I like the ghost video channels, and I'm talking about it. I said I wouldn't. What else is no? But anyway, I'm going to repost this because I'm already at 15 minutes. I will try to do another one today or tomorrow, I think, or Friday. But I'm still. This is still a work in progress as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to make them too long, but I don't want to make them too short. But anyway. Well, people, behave yourselves, because you know I'm not going to. You know I can't. I don't know how, and even if I did know how, I can't. I'm me. Have a good day. Later. Ta-ta. Later. Goodbye. Shalom.